My beloved child, this message has found you at a very important moment. Don't skip. Listen carefully. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. There is a story unfolding about concern, responsibility, and the power of paying attention to the people we love. And what happened next changed everything. For some time, there has been a feeling that someone close to you may be carrying more than they are willing to show. On the surface, everything may appear normal. Conversations continue. Daily routines continue. Smiles still appear when they are needed. But beneath that surface, there may be emotions, worries, or challenges that have not been fully expressed. This story begins with that possibility. My beloved child, the person at the center of this message is a sister figure, someone connected by family, love, trust, or a bond that feels like family. Recently, she has been trying to handle a situation on her own. Not because she does not care about others, but because she does not want to become a burden. She believes she can manage everything by herself. Yet sometimes the strongest people are the ones carrying the heaviest weight in silence. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. There have been small signs that something may need attention. Perhaps a change in mood. Perhaps a quiet distance. Perhaps moments where she seems distracted even when she is present. None of these signs prove anything on their own, but together they create a feeling that something deserves a closer look. What happened next changed everything. Someone finally stopped assuming everything was fine and chose to pay attention. Instead of focusing only on words, they noticed emotions. Instead of accepting every "I'm okay" at face value, they listened more carefully. And through that simple act of awareness, they began understanding that support is sometimes needed long before it is requested. My beloved child, this message is not claiming that a real emergency exists. It is not revealing secret information about any actual person. It is a symbolic story about the importance of checking in on those we care about. Sometimes people need help but struggle to ask for it. Sometimes they need someone willing to notice what remains unspoken. Listen carefully. There are moments in life when a simple conversation changes everything. A kind question. A patient ear. A sincere expression of care. These small actions can create space for honesty. They can remind someone that they do not have to face every challenge alone. Stay till the end because the story is only beginning. As concern turns into understanding, new truths begin to emerge. The situation may not be what anyone expected. The challenge may not be as obvious as it first seemed. Yet one thing becomes clear: meaningful connections grow stronger when people choose compassion over assumptions. What happened next changed everything. The person who felt alone started realizing they were not alone after all. The burden they carried became lighter when shared. The worries that seemed overwhelming became easier to face with support. And the simple act of paying attention created an opportunity for healing. My beloved child, there is a lesson hidden within this story. Never underestimate the power of reaching out to someone you love. Never assume they know how much you care. Never wait for the perfect moment to show kindness. Sometimes the most important conversations begin with a simple question asked at the right time. And here is the twist that changes everything. The situation that seemed urgent was not solved through fear. It was solved through understanding. It was not solved through dramatic action. It was solved through presence, patience, and genuine care. Because sometimes the greatest gift we can offer another person is simply letting them know they do not have to carry their struggles alone. And the next chapter of this story will reveal why that realization became more important than anyone imagined. My beloved child, the story continues, and the importance of this situation is becoming clearer with every passing moment. Don't skip. Listen carefully. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. What first appeared to be a small concern is revealing a deeper lesson about family, connection, and the power of being present when someone needs support. And what happened next changed everything. As the days went on, the signs became a little harder to ignore. Nothing dramatic. Nothing obvious. Just small moments that seemed different. A pause before answering a question. A smile that did not quite reach the eyes. A tendency to withdraw when conversations became personal. These details might seem insignificant on their own, but together they created a feeling that something deserved attention. My beloved child, the sister figure in this story had become very skilled at hiding her worries. She did not want anyone to feel concerned. She did not want to create problems for others. So she carried her thoughts quietly, believing that keeping everything to herself was the responsible thing to do. Yet even the strongest people need support sometimes. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. There came a moment when someone decided not to ignore their intuition. Instead of assuming everything was fine, they chose to reach out with kindness. They asked how she was really feeling. They listened without judgment. They created a space where honesty felt safe. And that simple decision opened a door that had been closed for a long time. What happened next changed everything. For the first time, she began sharing some of the worries she had been carrying alone. They were not necessarily the dramatic problems others had imagined. Some were fears about the future. Some were pressures she placed on herself. Some were concerns she thought no one else would understand. But speaking about them brought relief. My beloved child, one of the most powerful lessons in this story is that people often do not need someone to solve every problem. Sometimes they simply need someone willing to listen. Someone willing to sit beside them during difficult moments. Someone willing to remind them that they are not facing everything alone. Listen carefully. The more the conversation continued, the more understanding grew. Assumptions faded away. Misunderstandings disappeared. What had once felt like distance became closeness again. And the connection between them became stronger than it had been before. Stay till the end because the story is only becoming more meaningful. There were moments when both people realized how easy it is to overlook what others are carrying. Everyone has private worries. Everyone has silent struggles. Everyone experiences moments when they need encouragement. This realization brought a new sense of compassion into their relationship. What happened next changed everything. The sister figure began feeling lighter. Not because every challenge vanished overnight, but because she no longer felt alone. The support she received gave her strength. The understanding she experienced gave her hope. And the simple act of being heard helped her see solutions more clearly. My beloved child, remember that this story is symbolic. It is not claiming that any real person is in danger or involved in a hidden crisis. It is a reminder that relationships become stronger when people choose to care, communicate, and support one another. Sometimes the most important action we can take is simply reaching out. Listen carefully. There may be people in your own life who seem fine on the surface while quietly carrying burdens within. A kind message. A thoughtful conversation. A sincere expression of care can make a greater difference than you realize. Never underestimate the impact of genuine compassion. And here is the twist that changes everything. The situation that seemed urgent was not really about a problem needing to be fixed. It was about a relationship needing attention. It was about creating understanding where silence had existed. It was about reminding someone they were valued, supported, and loved. And as that truth became clear, a beautiful transformation began unfolding, one that would strengthen their bond in ways neither of them expected. My beloved child, the story is now entering its most emotional chapter. Don't skip. Listen carefully. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The conversation that began with concern has started creating something far more valuable than anyone expected. What first seemed like a difficult situation is becoming an opportunity for healing, understanding, and deeper connection. And what happened next changed everything. As the days passed, the sister figure in this story began opening up more than before. Not all at once. Not in a dramatic way. But little by little, she started allowing others to see what had been hidden beneath the surface. The worries she once carried alone no longer felt quite as heavy. The thoughts she once kept to herself became easier to share. And with every honest conversation, a burden seemed to lift from her shoulders. My beloved child, there is something powerful that happens when people feel truly heard. They stop carrying every struggle in silence. They stop feeling as though they must face every challenge alone. They begin remembering that support exists, even during difficult seasons. That realization became the turning point of this story. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The more she shared, the more everyone realized that her greatest challenge was not the situation itself. It was the belief that she had to handle everything by herself. For so long, she thought asking for help would make her appear weak. But now she was beginning to understand that accepting support is actually a sign of strength. What happened next changed everything. The relationship that had once felt distant started growing closer. Conversations became deeper. Understanding became stronger. Trust began returning to places where silence had once existed. And suddenly, the situation that seemed worrying was creating something beautiful, a stronger bond between people who cared about one another. My beloved child, there were moments when she reflected on how different things felt now. The same challenges still existed, but they no longer seemed impossible. The same worries still appeared from time to time, but they no longer controlled her thoughts. Why? Because she finally knew she was not facing them alone. Listen carefully. Sometimes the greatest gift we can offer another person is not advice. It is not solutions. It is not perfect answers. Sometimes the greatest gift is simply our presence. A listening ear. A caring heart. A reminder that someone matters. These things have the power to transform lives in ways we rarely understand. Stay till the end because the story is becoming even more meaningful. The sister figure began discovering strength she did not know she possessed. Every conversation reminded her of her resilience. Every expression of support reminded her of her value. Every moment of connection reminded her that she was surrounded by people who genuinely cared. What happened next changed everything. The fear that once encouraged silence started fading away. Confidence began taking its place. Hope started replacing worry. And the future, which once felt uncertain, began looking brighter. Not because every problem disappeared, but because she now faced those problems with support instead of isolation. My beloved child, remember that this story is symbolic. It is not describing a real emergency or claiming to reveal hidden facts about anyone. It is a reminder that relationships thrive when people choose understanding over assumptions, compassion over judgment, and connection over distance. These choices create healing where healing is needed most. Listen carefully. There may be someone in your life right now who would benefit from knowing they are appreciated. Someone who would feel stronger if they knew they were not alone. Someone who simply needs a reminder that their struggles matter and that their feelings deserve to be heard. And here is the twist that changes everything. The situation that first appeared to require immediate attention is revealing its true purpose. It was never only about solving a problem. It was about strengthening a bond. It was about bringing people closer together. It was about creating trust, understanding, and support where they were needed most. And as this transformation continues, a beautiful ending is beginning to take shape, one that will remind everyone involved just how powerful love, compassion, and family can truly be. My beloved child, the story is approaching its most meaningful turning point. Don't skip. Listen carefully. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. What began as a feeling of concern has slowly transformed into something much greater. The situation that once seemed uncertain is now revealing lessons about trust, love, and the incredible strength that comes from standing together. And what happened next changed everything. As time passed, the sister figure in this story started seeing things differently. She no longer felt like she had to carry every responsibility by herself. She no longer believed that asking for support was a sign of weakness. Instead, she began understanding that allowing others to help is one of the bravest choices a person can make. That realization opened a new chapter in her life. My beloved child, there were moments when she looked back and wondered why she had remained silent for so long. She realized that many of her fears had grown larger simply because they stayed hidden. Once they were shared, they became easier to understand. Once they were spoken aloud, they became easier to manage. The burden that once felt overwhelming suddenly seemed lighter. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. The people around her also began changing. They became more attentive, more understanding, more willing to listen without judgment. Instead of assuming they knew what she needed, they took the time to truly hear her. And through that process, their relationships grew stronger than before. What happened next changed everything. The distance that once existed between family members started disappearing. Conversations became more honest. Laughter returned to places where worry had lingered. Small moments of connection became reminders that support was always available, even when it had not been noticed before. My beloved child, one of the most beautiful discoveries in this story is that challenges often reveal the strength of our relationships. Difficult seasons have a way of showing us who cares, who listens, and who is willing to stand beside us when life becomes complicated. The sister figure began seeing just how much love surrounded her. Listen carefully. There were still obstacles to face. There were still questions about the future. But something important had changed. Fear was no longer leading the story. Hope was. The belief that things could improve became stronger with each passing day. And that hope created momentum that carried everyone forward. Stay till the end because the story is becoming even more powerful. As trust continued growing, the sister figure discovered confidence she did not know she possessed. The same person who once felt overwhelmed was now facing challenges with courage. The same person who once felt alone was now surrounded by understanding. And the same person who once carried everything in silence was finally allowing herself to be supported. What happened next changed everything. The situation that once demanded attention became a source of growth. It taught patience. It taught communication. It taught the value of showing up for the people we love. What first appeared to be a problem slowly transformed into an opportunity for healing and connection. My beloved child, remember that this story is symbolic. It is not describing a real crisis or revealing hidden information about anyone. It is a reminder that many of life's most important moments begin when people choose to care deeply, listen sincerely, and support one another without conditions. Listen carefully. There are times when a single conversation changes the course of a relationship. There are times when a simple act of kindness becomes a turning point. There are times when showing someone they are not alone becomes the very thing they need most. This story is about those moments. And here is the twist that changes everything. The situation that once seemed urgent is now creating something beautiful. Trust is being rebuilt. Hearts are opening. Relationships are growing stronger. The fears that once felt so heavy are gradually being replaced with hope and understanding. And very soon, everyone involved will realize that this journey was never only about overcoming a challenge, it was about discovering the strength of love, family, and support. But the beautiful ending waiting in the final chapter will reveal why this experience ultimately became one of the greatest blessings of all. My beloved child, we have finally reached the last chapter of this story, and the ending is more beautiful than anyone expected. If you have stayed until this moment, listen carefully. Stay till the end because the message you are about to hear carries hope, healing, and a reminder of what truly matters. What happened next changed everything. After all the concern, all the conversations, and all the moments of uncertainty, something wonderful began to happen. The sister figure in this story started feeling stronger. Not because every challenge suddenly disappeared, but because she no longer felt like she had to face those challenges alone. The support surrounding her became a source of comfort, confidence, and peace. My beloved child, the people who cared about her continued showing up. They listened. They encouraged. They reminded her of her strength during moments when she doubted herself. And little by little, the worries that once seemed overwhelming became easier to manage. The burden that once felt heavy became lighter because it was shared. Stay till the end because something huge is waiting for you. One day, she looked around and realized something important. The situation that had once frightened her had also revealed how deeply she was loved. It had shown her who would stand beside her during difficult times. It had reminded her that she was valued, appreciated, and never truly alone. What happened next changed everything. Confidence began replacing fear. Hope began replacing worry. The future, which once seemed uncertain, started looking brighter. New opportunities appeared. New goals emerged. And the same person who once felt overwhelmed began moving forward with renewed determination. My beloved child, perhaps the most beautiful part of this story is that the relationships involved became stronger than they had ever been before. Honest conversations created deeper understanding. Shared challenges created stronger trust. Moments of support created lasting bonds. What started as a concern ended as a reminder of the power of love and connection. Listen carefully. There were still lessons to learn and new chapters waiting to be written. But now those chapters were being faced together rather than alone. And that made all the difference. Sometimes the greatest blessing is not the absence of challenges. Sometimes it is having people beside you while you face them. Stay till the end because the story is approaching its final revelation. The sister figure eventually realized that her strength had been there all along. She simply needed support to see it. She needed encouragement to remember it. And once she recognized her own resilience, she became more confident than ever before. What happened next changed everything. The family grew closer. Communication became easier. Appreciation became more visible. Small moments were treasured more deeply. Everyone involved gained a greater understanding of how important it is to care for one another and never take relationships for granted. My beloved child, this story was never really about a crisis. It was about connection. It was about paying attention. It was about choosing compassion when someone needed it most. The lesson is that love often reveals itself most clearly during difficult moments, and those moments can strengthen relationships in extraordinary ways. And here is the beautiful ending that changes everything. The sister figure found peace. She found confidence. She found the courage to move forward with hope in her heart. The people around her discovered the joy of supporting someone they loved. And together, they created a future built on trust, understanding, and genuine care. So walk away from this message knowing this, my beloved child, the situation that once required attention became a blessing in disguise. It brought hearts closer together. It strengthened relationships. It revealed hidden strength. And it reminded everyone involved that no challenge is too great when faced with love, support, and unity. The worry faded. The understanding grew. The bond became stronger. And what began as a moment of concern ended as a story of healing, gratitude, and hope. That, my beloved child, is the beautiful ending that was waiting for you all along.